Hello everybody, it is Craig, Whisperinstoryteller here. I hope you are well. Well guys, Happy New Year. This is the first ramble I've done for 2022. So my deepest apologies, I've been a little bit absent as of late. Just due to a few minor things like working overtime and other things. But all is well, and here I am, ready to start the new year with some fresh new content. So, for anyone who has not visited this channel before, this channel is dedicated to helping you sleep, relax, and unwind. And if that's what you're looking for and you like a softly spoken or whispered voice, then hopefully you've come to the right place. And of course, if I manage to do any of those objectives, then it is mission accomplished for me. So thank you for tuning in. So, here we are, mid-January, and Christmas and New Year just seems like a distant memory now, even though it was a mere 2 weeks ago. Well, 3 weeks for Christmas, of course. So the last real ramble I did was the one just before Christmas, and yeah, it's a long time ago now, it seems. And January leaves you in that very strange kind of mindset where everything is a mixture of being fresh, new beginnings, a new year, and of course, well, for us in the northern hemisphere, a lot of darkness. All of the pretty lights go out, the decorations come down, and all of a sudden you're struggling to find that sense of routine again. So the festivities really do kind of, they're great, by the way. I absolutely love Christmas. But the festivities do give you that sense of being in a bubble almost. So it's party month and you eat, you drink, all of that jazz. And January is a kind of wake up and smell the coffee kind of month. The credit card bills roll in and you realise how much you spend at Christmas. And yeah, you get that sense of wanting something new to look forward to. So with me, I mean everybody's in the same boat as well. It's not unique to any one person. I think it's across the board that we generally feel a little bit kind of lost, and we're looking for something new to focus on, something exciting. So a lot of people book holidays in January because they just need that lift, that something on the horizon, to really look forward to. With the way things are in the world at the moment with coronavirus, it looks like things are slowly starting to ease, and we have the isolation period is now being cut from 7 days down to 5 days, and a lot of borders are reopening now. So maybe, hopefully, the pandemic is kind of weakening now. But there again, we never know what variants are on the horizon. But I think it's nice to think we will look at this together globally and try to keep on top of this. it's Sunday morning, Sunday the 16th of January. And just listening, there's an engine going on somewhere. I don't know if it's the drone of an aeroplane or something else. I can hear it in the distance, I'm not sure what it is. So let's have a look to see what we got for Christmas. So, I got the usual, great things for my siblings and my other half and my mother. It's a great time. I love giving gifts. I love giving presents. But I did get some in return, which I'm very grateful for. Now, I'm a bit of a movie geek, as some of you might know. Let's have a look at some of the gifts I got. So I got this board game of Alien. A-L-I-E-N. And this is a board game. And there is the really famous logo. In space, in space, no one can hear you scream. And it's a lovely little box, well, not so little actually. So in this game, sorry, the box is a little bit big and I was struggling to get it in shot there. So this game is set aboard the Nostromo, which is the spacecraft from the original movie, if you remember, the original Alien movie. And the alien stalks the corridors of the commercial starship Nostromo, hunting you and your crewmates. So you must work together to move through the ship, gather supplies, and craft items to survive. Proceed carefully, the alien could just be round the corner. And remember, in space, no one can hear you scream. So we get to choose from 5 final missions, and we get figures inside. If you look at that there, we get figures inside of the original characters from the movie: Brett, Dallas, Ripley, Lambert, and Parker. I haven't played this yet, but I am going to a friend's next weekend, and we're going to play this. So I've taken it on myself to learn the rules first, so I can introduce it to the other guys, and I will let you know how that goes. So that's Alien, the Fate of the Nostromo board game, which is available from Amazon and I guess a lot of stockists of games, board games that is. So board games has made a massive revival lately. And of course movie board games based on classic movies seems to be very popular. So there is a Jaws one at the moment, I believe, and lots of others. So that's Alien. So I got lots of things from my sisters and my mother. I got got the chair which I'm sitting on, which is a Japanese kneeling chair. So you can't see this at the moment, but it's designed where you kind of kneel in the chair and the chair kind of balances you forward, and you kind of balance on your core, and there's no need for a backrest because you kind of, I'm rocking now. It's really comfortable. I'll see if I can get a picture of it on the screen so you can kind of see what it looks like. I got aftershave as well. I got slippers, hoodies, t-shirts. I'm really always grateful for the lovely gifts that I get. So at Christmas was quite cold here in northeast England. Very icy, which is great because that's the kind of weather that you hope to have at Christmas time, because it gives you that sense of coziness when you're inside. But New Year, the week after, it was very mild. It was well in the double figures, and that's when I did the driving video, in which I just drove around the local area. I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a nice drive. If you ever wanted to see more of the area, Sunderland and South Tyneside is just one small area. We've got places like the city of Newcastle, which is stunning, and of course the Northumberland coastline and area. Again, they are such nice places to visit, and of course Durham as well. There's another historic city, Durham. So yeah, that's something possibly to think about if we were to do any more in the drive-in series. What really bothered me was the fact that the camera is situated just on the front of the car, and we're missing lots of great scenery, but I can't actually move that camera anywhere. It's fixed in that one direction. So that was a shame. So maybe I could get another camera and have it facing the other way. So the camera that I used for that video is just over here. This is what I used for that video. Now this is a Polaroid Cube, and it's got a magnetic bottom. You see that? So that kind of just attaches itself to the top of the car, and using that button there, that connects to your telephone via Bluetooth. So you can use your telephone as a monitor, and it will just film. Now I filmed this for a good 45 minutes, I think, when I was driving around, and it was okay. As somebody was saying that these Polaroid Cubes are now discontinued, which is a real shame because they are a great little versatile camera that can really, get some great angles and things from tricky areas. The one thing it doesn't do is sound, so the sound is very, very poor on these. But I just thought I'd point out that's what I used the Polaroid Cube for the driving video. And so far the weather has kind of returned back to being very cold. In fact, within 24 hours of doing that driving video, it was absolutely freezing again. So this being in the UK, the weather is constantly changing and never stays the same for more than a couple of days. So we have little spells of weather, then it moves on. So with us being an island, we receive a lot of transient weather. And whether that is passing over the Atlantic and kind of covers over us as it's going towards Scandinavia and Europe, or if it turns northwards, we get the weather from the Arctic, or if it turns eastwards, we get it from Scandinavia, Siberia, all of those places. So yeah, trying to think if there's anything else I can talk about. Oh yeah, after Christmas, I was kind of browsing and I got a good deal on the Philips Hue lights. If you've never heard of Philips Hue lights, it is a very user-friendly smart light bulb system that connects around your home, and you can control it with your Alexa and your telephone, your mobile telephone or cell phone, no matter where you are in the world. You can control some really cool, cozy settings, or if you want to concentrate, it uses a system of colours which kind of really helped you to get in that mood. So I got a couple of smart bulbs, and I got a couple of GU10s, which are the spotlight bulbs, and they all kind of connect together, and you can have lots of different ambient settings, and it's really, really cool. I absolutely love it. A lot of people say it's overpriced for what it is, and some people say there's a lot of competitors that are blown it out of the water in price, because Philips Hue does tend to be quite expensive. But the user-friendly interface really is a joy. So I'm thinking now about getting things behind the TV to light up that wall behind the TV. So really having kind of a system around the whole room. In fact, I've got a smart bulb in here as well, up above in the ceiling light. But yeah, if you've not had a chance to check out Philips Hue, please do. I'm not a geek in any stretch of the imagination. I just look for ease and something that works for me. Of course, if you are a smart home enthusiast, you can set up your own system. I mean, I've got a friend of mine who can open and close his blinds, switch his lights on, unlock his garage, all of a manner of things like that, just by using his Home Assistant app, where you can configure everything together in one system. But unfortunately, I'm not that techie, so I just kind of use the things which work for me, and I really enjoy the Philips Hue. So Philips Hue comes with a bridge, which connects all of the smart bulbs in the house, and then you can control it with your app. So it's really, really easy to use, and it's a joy, honestly. But they are quite expensive. I think the idea is to keep an eye out for some good deals, especially at Black Friday and Cyber Monday, that kind of thing. So yeah, so I've made the switch to smart lighting in the house, and really enjoying it. I also forgot to tell you that I work in Amazon, as a lot of you know, and before Christmas we did a talent competition for all associates to enter, and I did, and I won. I won the talent show. Wasn't that great? So I did a variation of It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, which was a famous Andy Williams song. So I did my version, which was It's the Most Busiest Time of the Year, because in Amazon, December is got think of any other things that's been happening in January so far. Yeah, so the garden suffered a lot of damage during the storms in, was it November, late November into December? Yeah, but our garden faced a lot of damage. Our fence was ripped off, so us and next door's garden are literally one at the moment. But I've managed to get somebody to come and replace the fence in March, and I'm so looking forward to that. And that is a sign of age when you start getting excited about getting a new garden fence. Wow. But yeah, so we've got that booked in for March, which is in the not too distant future. So just looking forward to getting things tidied up and repaired. So for January, we all kind of look into diets and trying to trim our waistlines. And I'm no exception, so this year I decided to give up chocolate and bread, which are two of the main contributors to me putting on weight. So I've got a ridiculous sweet tooth, and after the excesses of Christmas period, where I was eating sweets and chocolate one after the other because of the amount that I actually had gifted or ones that I bought to eat over Christmas. So I decided to try and have a month without chocolate at all, which is a real challenge for me. And so far so good, but what I've found I'm doing is actually eating other sweet things in to replace the chocolate. So I made a carrot cake because it's sweet. It would give me that sweet fix, and of course it doesn't feature chocolate at all. So I spent some time last Monday making this huge carrot cake, and I'm literally polishing it off. So really I don't know what doing without chocolate is doing for me, but I'm kind of compensating it by looking at other sweet things. And bread is a big one for me. I seem to eat bread with like everything going, and I eat sandwiches, I have bread with my meals. So I'm just trying to cut that down altogether, and it's going okay. I do like toast on a morning, but it is making a bit of difference. So what have you given up for January? Have you put yourself on a diet? How are you doing with that? It would be great to kind of share your experiences of January so far as well. But we will get there. It is nearly we're halfway through January now. So also in January, we tend to try and occupy our minds. So I've decided on an evening I'm gonna get stuck into some really good TV. I do love a good box set, and I'm rewatching Game of Thrones from the very, very start, and really enjoying it. I've also been watching a new BBC drama series called The Tourist, which stars Jamie Dornan, an Irish actor, and it's really great because in this series he plays a character who has a really bad car crash in the outback in Australia and wakes up with no memory whatsoever of who he is or why he is in Australia. And we follow his journey as he starts to slowly regain his memory and pieces together some of the things that he was involved in, which are very shady indeed. As his memory starts to return, we find he's not so innocent after all. Highly recommended, and it's called The Tourist, and all episodes are available to stream on BBC Play. So that sounds like me giving a plug to the BBC, which of course I'm not, but it's a great series. Have you been watching some great TV? If so, what have you been watching? I'd love to know, of course. In fact, it was on my channel when somebody first introduced me to Game of Thrones. And I'm so thankful to that. I can't remember who it was, but somebody just mentioned it about 11 years ago, 10 years ago. And that's how I give it a try. So it was all on the back of a recommendation. So if anybody has any great recommendations for some great TV, then I'd love to hear from you. So PS5s are in the news a lot at the moment. That's a PlayStation 5. And I'm debating whether it's worth me selling my PS4 Pro and getting a brand new PS5, but I haven't looked too much into it at the moment. Have you got a PS5? Do you recommend it? I've noticed that there's a whole slate of cool games which are coming out, especially for the PS5. So I always like to get the latest console, even though I don't play as much as what I used to. One thing I do need to check up on is, does any previous games work on the PS5? So in other words, would a PS4 game work on a PS5? I really don't know, I've not looked into that. So in the news, in the UK at the moment, we have two very highly controversial subjects based on our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who has been having parties at Downing Street apparently when we were in full lockdown in 2020. So while the public were being briefed to keep their social distancing and interactions with other households down to a minimum, they were having parties behind the scenes and up to 40 people, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So in the United Kingdom at the moment, there's a whole debate about whether Boris Johnson is fit to lead our country anymore because of his lack of integrity. And I really do think it's time for him to resign. What he has done is unacceptable, really, especially when we all followed the rules and were so frightened not to follow the rules because of the consequences, because of the dangers that we pose to any elderly relatives or people with underlying health concerns. So we followed the rules to the letter, or if we didn't, we were persecuted and fined. So to think that that was going on from our leadership behind the public eye is absolutely unforgivable, and it needs to be addressed, and Boris Johnson needs to leave office. That's my opinion. The other big news, of course, is Prince Andrew, who is now facing trial as a private citizen against those allegations made against him with the whole Jeffrey Epstein and the Maxwell connections. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen and what the fallout's going to be with Prince Andrew and the royal family. But it does look like the royal family is slowly disintegrating, torn apart by scandals, and of course what's happened with Prince Harry, who has now kind of left the country and left the royal family. Is the future of the royal family hanging by a thread? Who knows? But guys, this is my first Ramble video for 2022, and of course, as always, it is unscripted and pretty free-flowing, so I go from subject to subject, and I hope that's okay. But guys, I'm gonna wish you goodbye, and I will return very soon with some more rambly videos, and keep you updated about what's happening in my world, and you can keep me updated what's happening in yours too. So until then, I thank you a lot for tuning in as always, and keep subscribing, keep liking. It really means a lot to me and helps my channel grow as well. So guys, thank you so much, and good night, and I will see you soon.